The San Antonio Spurs have hit the NBA's version of the jackpot.
They won the NBA's draft lottery last night. They're expected to take Victor Wembanyama with the first pick. The roughly 7'4" French star is one of the most highly anticipated prospects ever.
The Charlotte Hornets, Portland Trail Blazers, and Houston Rockets will round out the top four.
Joining us now is Adam Finkelstein. He is a college basketball insider for CBS Sports and the director of scouting at 24/7 Sports. Welcome to you, Adam. So a lot of talk, a lot of expectations. What makes Wembanyama such a generational talent and a lock to go number one?
Well, he's the type of prospect that we've just never seen before. He's 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan. He's a dynamic defensive player who can block shots like almost no one else we've ever seen, can move his feet on the perimeter. And then offensively, he's got a skill set that already extends out to the three-point line. He's only 19 years old, and you would think for someone who has those kinds of measurements that he wouldn't be a fluid mover or a good athlete, but he actually is. So, often when you have top prospects, I'm typically asked, who do you compare him to? And in this particular case, there's no one we can compare him to because we've just never seen anyone with this overlap of natural tools and basketball skill.
Wow. That's impressive. A lot for young Wembanyama to live up to. Talk to us about who else you expect will be landed as a top pick.
Well, I think Wembanyama will be the clear-cut number one. The Spurs aren't posturing or pretending anything else than that. After that, though, Charlotte's got a choice to make at number two. Scoot Henderson, who played the last 2 years with the G League Ignite, he is a top candidate, as is Brandon Miller, who is a freshman this year at Alabama and the best freshman in college basketball. Two other names to keep an eye on are the Thompson twins, Amen and Asur. They played for Overtime Elite for the last 2 years. So it's an interesting scenario where you have potentially 4 of the top 5 prospects in this year's draft could come from circuits and leagues other than college basketball, which would be unprecedented in and of itself.
Wow. Well, let's go back to the Spurs for a moment because they won the lottery in 1987 and 1997 and drafted David Robinson and Tim Duncan, 2 NBA greats. Are people around the league, Adam, a little frustrated with San Antonio's luck?
Well, everybody loves a good conspiracy theory in the NBA, and there is certainly plenty of cries about that this morning and last night. Obviously, winning the lottery when they got Tim Duncan really changed or sustained, I should say, the Spurs franchise for decades. And last night was a similar type of fortuitous break because Wembanyama is the type of prospect who could literally make them a contender for more than a decade. I mean, he's that type of talent. And so when that happens, when lightning very literally does strike more than once, people start to wonder. But this process, the NBA lottery process, is so well vetted. It's so well secured. They have representatives from every team. They allow media in there, albeit without their cell phones. They hire a private accounting firm to monitor the fairness and equity of the process. So when you really dig in, it's hard to subscribe much to the conspiracy theories, but it does make for some good theater around the Spurs winning this again.
All right, Adam Finkelstein. Adam, thank you.
Thank you.